Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, more mosquitoes are testing positive for West Nile in Nebraska. We'll tell you where. Plus, a candidate for Nebraska governor is being sued. But first,
we all feel betrayed by this individual.
A former Nebraska State Patrol employee charged with stealing drugs. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Megan Conway. Rod has the night off. 2 people have been arrested in connection with the fentanyl-laced cocaine that has been triggering overdoses around the city of Lincoln. Channel 8's Yosef Nasser has been covering the story all day. He joins us with the very latest tonight. Yosef?
Good evening, Megan. Former NSP employee Anna Adigama and the owner of a popular soul food restaurant, George Weaver Jr., have been arrested for conspiracy to distribute 140 grams or more of cocaine and fentanyl. The lethal combination, as you said, has devastated this community in recent months.
I and our entire State Patrol family are deeply saddened by this entire situation, and we all feel betrayed by this individual.
In Lincoln, 35 overdoses between July 24th and August 19th related to cocaine laced with fentanyl. 9 deaths as a result. Now those tragedies are being connected to more than $1 million worth of drugs stolen from the Nebraska State Patrol Evidence Unit. One of the alleged suspects is former NSP employee Anna Adigama.
This employee had betrayed the trust of the people of Nebraska, who looked to the State Patrol as the professional and dedicated law enforcement agency that it is. She also betrayed the trust placed in her by our troopers, investigators, and civilian team members who take pride in our constant mission to keep Nebraska safe. Worse than that, her actions appear to have caused immense pain for many people in this community.
Adigama worked with NSP for 14 years, the past several as an evidence technician. It's believed the drugs were stolen from an NSP evidence storage facility. An audit revealing more than $1.2 million worth of drugs were missing, including more than 19 pounds of cocaine and more than 10 pounds of fentanyl. On August 27th, Adigama's employment with NSP was terminated. Police say George Weaver Jr., the owner of Lincoln restaurant Granny Weaves, was working with Adigama. LPD says the two were dating. Channel 8 spoke with Weaver last October about his tough upbringing, past missteps, and how the restaurant was helping him turn his life around.
You know, me, I've been to prison. You know, a lot of people don't really know that. You know, I'm a 2-time felon, but I didn't stop that from my dreams. And you know what I'm saying? You know, it's been 8 years and I'm still successful. My dad, you know, he's been in prison. He's still in prison. Like, I have to give my kids a different direction than what my dad gave me.
Both have been arrested for conspiracy to distribute 140 grams or more of cocaine and fentanyl. More charges could be added if it's proven that their actions led to the overdose or death of people.
There is a potential for other charges being filed, I mean, depending on what the investigation shows.
NSP has begun a review of their evidence storage policy and procedures. Law enforcement officials say they feel devastated and betrayed that one of their colleagues might be responsible for this.
It's heartbreaking, it's frustrating. We are proud to serve in this profession and serve the citizens of our communities. Anytime that something like this comes up, it's obviously heartbreaking.
According to LPD, so far in 2021, the city has seen 160 overdoses, up from 133 in all of 2020. Prior to 2020, the 5-year average in Lincoln was 75 overdoses per year. This investigation, Megan, is still ongoing.
Yeah, a lot of information there. Thank you very much, Joseph, for being on top of it all day. In other news now, Charles Herbster, a candidate for Nebraska governor, is being sued by a political consulting firm. The firm says he has $37,000 in unpaid fees and a wrongful termination of a contract. It says that Herbster and his campaign hired them, but then canceled the contract after a few months and without any notice. Herbster's campaign manager declined to comment. More mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, this time in Adams County. It's the 3rd report of the virus in that county this season. Symptoms of West Nile include fever, headache, nausea, and sometimes swollen lymph glands or a rash. And you know, it's a reminder that even though it is officially fall, those kind of critters are still out and about, John, but more summer-like temperatures this weekend.
You know, it turns out a lot of those critters don't have calendars, so they don't know when fall actually begins. It doesn't show up on there. They don't have cell phones to tell them that either. Hey, around here this afternoon, it has been cooler outside, a lot of clouds around, even a couple light showers. just as we had suggested. We're taking a live look right now from Honda of Lincoln. Looking off to the south and west, you can see we've got overcast skies out that direction, but along the horizon, we're trying to get some breaks in those clouds, and I think that will be the case as we go later into the evening. But take a look at the temperature change from yesterday as compared to today. Yesterday, we were in the 80s. Right now, it's running 15 to 20 degrees cooler, so it feels, or it shouldn't say, it just feels like it is 63 degrees in Lincoln. It is 67 degrees in Beatrice. A bit warmer, though, where we've got some sunshine up towards Columbus, where it's 71 degrees. Here's the radar, and you can see there are some light showers. I'm not completely convinced all that green you're seeing on the radar, especially along Highway 136, is reaching the ground. I've been watching our camera down in Beatrice and have yet to see any raindrops falling, but we may see a few light raindrops falling on the north side of town or even down towards Glenwood, over towards Barnston. As we go through the rest of this evening, we'll see clearing skies down to 64 degrees at 8 o'clock and 58 degrees by 10. We've got some warmer temperatures coming our way this weekend, but before that gets here, we've got a chilly night coming. I'll tell you how low it goes coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, John. In national news now, down in Texas, thousands of migrants are in limbo as the Biden administration struggles to get a handle on the crisis.
It's an embarrassment, but it's beyond an embarrassment. It's dangerous. It's wrong. It sends the wrong message around the world. It sends the wrong message at home. It's simply not who we are.
The last of the Haitian migrants have been removed from under the international bridge in Del Rio, Texas, with more than a dozen flights returning more than 1,900 people back to Haiti since Sunday. 3,900 are still in the U.S. being processed.
I do believe we need to start removing people from our border back to their home country in an orderly way, in a humane way. But we need to have a process for them to ask for asylum from their home country or their neighboring country, going to embassies and consulates around the world. The process cannot be walking 1,500 miles to our southern border and rushing the river into our communities. That just does not work.
Some deportees tell CNN they didn't know where they were being taken when U.S. authorities put them onto a plane until they actually landed in Haiti, back where they had started. On the same topic, a UNO economics professor says immigrants from Latin America and the Caribbean can make significant contributions to Nebraska's economy.
What we find is that this particular population contributes significantly to the economy, both through their spending of their earnings, as well as where they find employment.
UNO economics professor Chris Decker says immigrant labor in industries like construction and meatpacking plants create a big impact. In the city of Omaha, immigrants from Latin America and the Caribbean generate more than $5 billion in production and more than 26,000 jobs. In Nebraska, they generate more than $16 billion and more than 79,000 jobs.
So if we're going to have a healthy labor force that we can continue to tap into, we find that one of the sources of that labor force growth is the first-generation foreign-born population.
When you compare first-generation immigrants with native Nebraskans, Decker says immigrants' contributions to the fiscal health of the state are larger than the demand placed on social services.
We're not seeing, based on a broader set of data for which we've got some confidence that we can measure, that there is this fiscal drain on public resources that are coming from the first-generation foreign-born. We're just not seeing that in the data.
The population growth of Nebraska is going to be in the next 50 years due to the children of immigrants. Not completely first generation, but also second generation children of immigrants.
UNO professor Cristian Doña Reveco says this study is meant as a tool for policymakers to make data-driven decisions regarding policy. That way they can be well equipped to make the best decisions.
Based on these findings, what kind of a trajectory do you hope that we can kind of provide immigrants to better support them as they support us?
In a context like today, where we have a significant number of immigrants at the border, right? It would be interesting for the state to consider investing in bringing some of those immigrants to Nebraska. Right, because in the future, as I mentioned before, the return on that investment will be significant.
In Omaha.
And you can find that study on klkntv.com under the links we mentioned tab. In just a couple of hours, Star Wars comes to the Lead Center. Well, sort of. It's a musical about Star Wars.
And it literally all started backstage at another musical that everyone was involved in, where half of the cast loved Star Wars, like fanatics about Star Wars. The other cast was like, I don't get it.
Everything looks homemade because, well, it is. The plot of this show revolves around two guys who decide to write a musical about the great big world of Star Wars. But for the real-life creator of the show, this is a return to his old stomping grounds after being part of the New York theater scene for years.
It's always exciting to like get to bring your work home and like kind of show off and like, this is what I'm doing, you know. So I'm really excited for like my friends and family who don't always get the chance to come out to New York to see our stuff.
That means the show gets a few special tweaks to take on a Lincoln flair. It's going to be a big weekend for some local critters. It's National Alpaca Farm Days. Farms across the continent open their gates to the public on this last weekend of September. So what exactly is an alpaca? Well, they're like a llama, but smaller. They've also got very thick, soft fleece, and that fleece is mostly what they're bred for.
It is a luxury fiber, and it's not greasy like sheep. There's a lot of lanolin in sheep's wool, so this makes it more eco-friendly to process because we don't need the heavy detergents and as many washings.
You can meet the alpacas at a few locations near Lincoln. Check out our website to find the one that's nearest you. And tonight marks the start of the SIP Nebraska Festival at Haymarket Park. It's a full weekend of unlimited tastings from wines, hard ciders, craft beers, and spirits, all made right here in Nebraska. You can even watch tomorrow's Husker football game on a 34-inch jumbo screen. The festival runs until 10 o'clock tonight and then tomorrow from 1 to 10. Still to come on the news here at 5 o'clock, a Nebraska mom fighting cancer finally gets the chance to watch her daughter play volleyball. You won't want to miss this story. It's coming up next. Here's a heartwarming story for you tonight. An Omaha mom battling cancer was finally able to watch her daughter play volleyball in person, and boy, was it a special night for everyone.
Millard South was wearing yellow jerseys Thursday night. Their opponents, Millard North, donned yellow warm-ups as well, as did Patriot and Mustang parents.
I am just so overwhelmed.
That's all because there was a special guest.
It means everything to me. I love her so much. You know, it's awesome that she can be here.
Teresa Hagedorn, known as Terry, has been battling cancer for over a year and has only been able to watch her daughter Emily's games online. But Thursday, she returned to the gym where she went to school herself and saw Emily take on Millard North. With fans, opposing coaches, and her team all wearing yellow.
People always compare Millard as one of the bigger school districts, one of the largest ones in Nebraska. But when you see all of these giant schools come together to support one kid, one family, it just makes it feel like a small town.
The fans were doing more than wearing yellow. They were buying bracelets, raffle tickets, and spending money on a silent auction. With all that cash going to the Hagedorn family.
I hope that she feels the love and the support of her Millard South volleyball family and everybody around her.
Well, Emily was definitely in high spirits before the game. As you might imagine, her emotions were running high before the match.
I just got to be strong. You know, I want to play the best for my mom. My mom hasn't seen me play in a long time, so I'm just going to, be emotional for a second, but then I'm going to be strong for her and just play my game.
We did go through some role playing on it. We want to make sure Emily feels comfortable.
While the Patriots did not get the win, they fought hard for Terry.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dissauer.
We're taking a live look from our new camera location down in Beatrice at Schoen's Roofing, looking off to the south and west. And I'm looking down along the streets to see if we see any rain falling, and I have not seen any so far this afternoon. Maybe a couple of sprinkles, but that's been about it. Radar is showing there are some showers down that way, which I'll show you in just a moment. Taking a live look now as we look off to the north and west from Honda of Lincoln, and you can see we've got a clear line of demarcation between clouds and clearing skies, and it's the clearing skies that will begin to overtake much of the area as we go through the rest of this evening. Now, it is cool outside, 63 degrees at the airport, 62 at East Campus, 62 degrees on the south side of town, down along Yankee Hill Drive. We made it up to 70 degrees this afternoon, and that was it. So a big drop in temperatures compared to yesterday's 84. It's 67 right now in Beatrice, 61 in Friend, a little warmer down towards Hebron where it's near 70, and where there's some sunshine, we've got 71 degrees right now in Columbus. You can see on radar where we are seeing, at least the radar is depicting some light showers trying to fall along Highway 136. But again, as we just looked live on the south side of Beatrice, not much showing up on radar. This is all moving off to the east-southeast and will continue to do so. Again, sprinkle not out of the question as we go through the rest of the evening. You'll see on Stormcast, keep some clouds around, but once we hit about 8 o'clock, those quickly begin to move out of the areas. We see our skies clearing. That will set us up for a cold night, with temperatures dropping down into the 40s by tomorrow morning. For the rest of this evening, we'll be dropping into the 60s by 8 o'clock, quickly into the 50s by 10, and then down into the 40s by early tomorrow morning. Our game of the week for high school football this evening is Freeman versus Palmyra. We'll see some clouds around at 7 and clearing skies quickly as we go through the evening. 63 degrees at 8 o'clock, 60 degrees by 9. You may want to take a sweatshirt with you for games tonight. By tomorrow morning, if you've got early morning plans, you will want to make sure you throw on probably a thick sweatshirt, if not even a light jacket, because we will start out in low to mid 40s. A chilly start to the morning. We may even see some upper 30s out towards Greeley and Albion, maybe even out towards Ord early tomorrow morning with not a lot of wind out there, out of the north, shifting around to the southwest, fairly light. Now, as we go through the day tomorrow, expect to see plenty of sunshine. The exact opposite of today. We should see near 100% sunshine. By noon, temperatures back up to right around 70 degrees, which is our high temperature for today. And then by afternoon, we should make it back up into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. In fact, I'm forecasting a high of 79 in Lincoln, 78 in Beatrice, 80s in Hastings and Grand Island. Winds tomorrow picking up out of the southwest, shifting to the south, 5 to 12, gusting at times to 18 miles per hour. Now I want to jump up to Michigan. Of course, the Huskers playing up at Lansing tomorrow. They are expecting rain tomorrow morning. Game obviously is not till the evening. 6 o'clock kickoff our time, 7 o'clock their time. I've got the clock sped up to Eastern time zone so you can see by 7 o'clock what they're expecting. So it should be decent conditions, cool temperatures at that. 59 degrees at kickoff, 53 by 8, 50 degrees by 10 o'clock, but that's pretty nice football weather. Now back here on Sunday, we're going to see our temperatures increasing, upper 80s, low 90s expected across southeast Nebraska, and it's going to stay warm for several days into early next week. In fact, 88 degrees for a high on Monday, 86 degrees by Tuesday. Middle of next week, we'll see clouds increasing with the chance for some scattered showers around on Thursday, and maybe a few scattered showers mainly west of Lincoln on Friday. Right now on game day next weekend, it looks to be 75 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and 75 degrees for the second half of next weekend as well with partly cloudy skies.
I'm sure a lot of folks have some outdoor plans ahead with that beautiful weekend, John.
It should be nice. And again, we're trying to appease everybody. We got the cool, if you really like that early fall feel, you'll like tomorrow morning. If you like the summer feel, you're going to love Sunday afternoon.
It's perfect. All right. Thank you very much. We have some more national news now to Florida, where an arrest warrant has been issued for Brian Laundrie, but not for the murder of his fiancée, 22-year-old Gabby Petito. ABC's Mona Kassar Abdi has more.
He hasn't been seen in a week and a half, and now 23-year-old Brian Laundrie is considered a fugitive. The search for him intensifying in that Northport, Florida nature reserve. Laundrie federally charged for allegedly using a debit card and PIN that didn't belong to him. He's accused of withdrawing at least $1,000 after his girlfriend Gabby Petito's death. Search crews up against unforgiving terrain for days now.
Well, we're out here searching for Brian. We're covering this area as well as we can. It's hot, it's wet out there, but they're working really hard.
ABC News touring the surrounding swamp with a wildlife expert who says only experts could survive that long in the tough conditions.
That could be very, very dangerous for you.
Neighbors urging Laundrie's parents to speak out if they have any more information on where he could be.
If they have knowledge, yes, I would love to say, please share more information.
The fraud charge Laundrie is facing carries a possible 10-year prison sentence. Authorities are still investigating the circumstances surrounding Gabby's murder. Her exact cause of death unknown right now, with an autopsy still underway. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Small movements on Wall Street today. The Dow gaining 33 points, NASDAQ falling about 4.5. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source. Finally tonight, have you ever wanted to fly with the birds? Well, a woman with a degenerative eye condition got to live out her dream of flying in formation with a flock of geese before she loses her sight. Natalia got help from a pilot who took her up in his microlight over the French Alps. And they were joined by a flock of young geese, trained to follow the aircraft through the sky. Isn't that incredible? Natalia said it was magical to see them flying in formation, and that she's making the most of it while she can still see. Pretty neat. John, quick final check of our weather?
Yeah, we were still watching maybe a few sprinkles. I think radar's showing maybe a little heavy-handed as far as the rain, but again, a few sprinkles possible down towards Beatrice. Otherwise, for the rest of us, we'll see skies clearing this evening and temperatures dropping 58 degrees by 10.
All right, thank you, John. Hey, stay tuned. World News Tonight is up next. We'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock. Have a great night.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Stop by Comfort Made Mattress Factory today and save up to $500 with our bigger bed, smaller price sales event. Locally owned Comfort Made Mattress Factory, 27th and Superior.
Closed